welcome back to Kentucky Garden Gal. I am Nancy, and it is finally March, and in just 15 more days it will officially be spring. And if you're a gardener, that is just music to your ears. If you've been like me, you've been out cutting buttercups and bringing those indoors. You've been buying your seeds and getting ready for this gardening season. So there's several more things that we can do in the month of May to prepare us for a great gardening season 2023. So let's go over just a few of those. Now is a really good time to plant your trees, your shrubs, and your roses, and you will often see them bear root, and now is a perfect time to get those in the ground. You want to look around your garden while everything is sleeping and see if you have any holes. Like maybe you want to have garden interest in your garden all 4 seasons. So look at, maybe you need to add some spring flowering trees, or maybe you need to add something that would add fall color, or in the winter, the evergreens. One of my favorite plants or trees to have for the winter is a Savannah holly. And the reason I like it, the birds absolutely love the berries. And it is so nice to decorate for Christmas, and it's green all year long. So make sure, if you have a place, that you get a Savannah holly in your garden. Now is the perfect time. You will see the hostas and the daylilies are up. And now is a perfect time to go in there. You can either dig up the whole clump, or if you have a really good shovel with a good sharp edge, you can go right down into that plant and you can divide those hostas and daylilies. And then you can either give them to friends, you can put them somewhere else in your garden. But now's the perfect time for that. This is also a great time to tend to your fruit trees. So you want to look for anything that is dead, diseased, or crossed, and you want to go in and cut that out. And remember, you want to get you don't want to leave like an inch or 2 if you can help it, or especially longer on your tree. You want to get as close to your tree as you can, and it'll form just a really nice collar where you made that cut. And this is also a good time to spray your fruit trees with a dormant oil. Let's see. Also, how many have still got flower beds that need to be cleaned up? I know I do. And now is a great time to do that. You want to get out there and cut back all of the debris. Maybe you left your perennials over winter. Now's a good time to get that cut back, and you can look at those and see how they're doing, seeing if you need to divide them. And here's a tip. When you are cleaning out your flower beds, if you do have plants that have broken dormancy, and like I think my daylilies are up maybe like that much, if you use a plastic rake versus a metal rake, it won't damage your plants that are already up as badly. You want to make sure that you have all of your seeds purchased. In fact, last night I was still purchasing seeds, and I've kind of gone over my list. I'm looking for one more thing, and then I think I will have everything that I need to garden in 2023. You can start your seeds. Most of us have done a lot of the winter method jug sowing, where we've planted up our seeds in the milk jugs outside, and the seeds and the plants are coming up. They're doing great. Now is the time. I happen to have a greenhouse, so now is the time that I will go into my greenhouse, and that's where I do the majority of my seed starting is in my greenhouse, and I will just go out there on a daily basis and be starting seeds and keeping an eye on them. Also, this is a great time for you to gather softwoods to propagate trees and shrubs from the new growth that's coming out, like on the magnolia trees, let's see, the crepe myrtles, anything that's a soft wood like that. Now is the time when you can cut it. You want to scrape the bark off just a little bit, wet it, and then stick it in some root hormone, and then put it into your soil. And then you just want to tend to that and keep that good and moist, and all through the year. And then this fall is also a wonderful time to plant, spring and fall. So this fall you can just do a mass planting. Azaleas and rhododendrons, you're seeing those now. So any new growth on those are really easy to start now. We also want to add compost to our garden, and there is never a bad time to add compost to your garden, because the success of whatever you are planting will depend mainly on your soil. So you want to have the richest soil that you possibly can have. And even if you have, maybe you have raised beds or you have container gardening, and when you bought your soil, maybe you spent a little extra and got a really good soil to go in your container or your pots. Remember, that evaporates, and your soil needs to be fed. So always make sure that you are, hopefully you're home composting and you're saving your coffee grinds, and you're saving your eggshells, and you're using your banana peel water. But all of those things really make a difference in your plants and how that they bloom and how successful they are. Another thing that we can do is whenever we're growing vertically, like if we want to grow, say well, in fact, I got it right here, a black-eyed Susan vine. If we want to grow something vertically, we have to have something for that plant to attach to. So now is a good time for you to look around in your garden, wherever you're putting your plants, and seeing where could I add some vertical interest. And I was reading recently, if you know anybody that has sassafras trees, the little skinny sassafras trees, those are great for making supports. It would be kind of like a teepee, but you could put that in your garden. Of course, you need to tie something around the top to secure it, but that would be a great place to add some interest in your garden with vertical vines. And those are something that that the birds especially, I mean, not only is it beautiful, but it's something that the pollinators and the birds also really, really enjoy. So I hope that this has got you motivated. If you haven't started, don't feel like you can't catch up. It's okay. You just get out there and do what you can. And remember, we should be enjoying our gardens. Don't don't become overwhelmed and feel like, oh my, I've got so much to do, to get ready for the season. Just do a little bit at a time. And if you are feeling overwhelmed, it's okay to cut back. Maybe, I had a really rough couple of years. I took out my koi pond, and at one time I got rid of my chickens because it was just more than I could handle at that time. So I've added my chickens back now, and missed my koi pond, but at the time it just wasn't feasible for me to maintain it the way it needed to be maintained. And another thing that I want to tack on to the end of this video, so many of you are getting the courage and you're growing plants from seeds. So I had the opportunity to attend a seed swap recently, and I only filmed, I think it's less than 5 minutes of video, but I thought that I would put that on the end of this video, and then I will also show you the seeds that I got from this seed swap. So I appreciate y'all for watching. I appreciate all the new subscribers, all the ones that have hung in here with me, and let's just have a great March and get ready for a great growing season in 2023. You all have a great day.
Hello, my name is Peggy Ramos, and this will be my second year gardening. After last year, I'd been told many different ways to store, so over this non-gardening time, I've been storing seeds. I've tried in the freezer, I've tried in mason jars, I've tried in envelopes and just setting them on a shelf, and I've tried putting them in the dark, keeping them cooler, just sitting on a shelf. So I'm excited to see what will work and what hasn't worked. Now the mason jars, there must have been some humidity because some of the seeds actually sprouted. I'm not sure if that was, due to the humidity that was already in the jar or not. But so that did not work for me, but I'm sure it might work for somebody.
You want to show us what you have down there?
Sure. So some of the seeds I harvested from a plant that I grew last year, some rainbow corn, lots of different colored corns that I did that was really fun for the kids. Some watermelon, all kinds of different peppers. I found peppers grow really well here. I try to mark it so I know which ones. These are the cayenne peppers, some habanero.
I have only not talked to 4 people.
And what I plan to do is right before I plant them, I'll take maybe 10 of each of the seeds and lay them out on a paper towel and moisten them to see what kind of germination rate I'll get before I actually plant them in the ground and go through all that hard effort. So that's what I have.
I don't get moisture in there or anything, and I keep it in a
Pretty much what I've done, and I look forward to and some pumpkin and zucchini. That's what I have.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your information.
No problem. Decoration. But they got so big.
My name is Mary Wiley. I live here in Hancock County, and this is some basil that I grew. My husband got me an arrow garden, although I grow basil other ways, but this year at Christmas he gave me an arrow garden, so everything is water in the bottom, and then there's a little pods container that went into that. It had a little tiny bit of soil. I put 4 seeds of basil in it, and it grew. But then when it grew, it grew tall. So I snipped off the top and took that piece and put it in a bottle of water. Basil grows super easy. It roots really fast. And so this was the result of that cutting. I had, I think, 4 plants actually that I did that with. So that's what I brought here to the seed stock. The basil is fairly easy to grow, and it smells wonderful. You can actually pick the leaves off, put it in an ice cube tray, and freeze it for later if you need.
Well, thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Catherine Brudecki. We're here at the Seed Swap, and I'm curious about when you try to save seeds from a plant, do you need to wrap the flower head or whatever makes the seed in like a fine net? Do you know?
Yes. Okay. So what I do, have you seen the boxes that canned goods come in the grocery store?
Yes.
Okay. I take those, I put it underneath the flour, and I just take a little scissors and I clip it off, and it all goes in there, and then it doesn't fall off. So that's the way I do mine. If it's something like that, and then I also dry them in that
Same box.
That same box. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So let's look at all the goodies, and you can see how different people have theirs organized. I believe she said that this was
I think it holds photos.
a photo container. So this is how she has hers organized. This lady has hers organized in the little brown
Now this is a mystery.
packets, and then
Oh, I
these
think I have
are
a mystery paper too in here.
It's just pepper
And
seeds,
we did
and you
bring
just get what you get.
plastic bags and markers so that whatever seeds you take, you are able to know what those are. But here are the different seeds, and we actually had a very nice surprise. Someone volunteered to bring rabbit. Is there a hole big enough? So good.
Make me a space.
So I wanted to show you all our seed swap, and then for just a minute I'm just going to show you this beautiful little place that we are in. It's called the Gathering Place. It is in Hancock County, Snellville, Tennessee. It is a coffee shop. And we appreciate them letting us come tonight. And what do we have here?
Oh, this is tat soy, the super green. I think it's like growing in the Himalayas, and then this is bok choy, you know, another good fibrous green, but cold hardy.
So how? Oh, and it's cold hardy. So you would plant it now.
Yeah, these actually came out of our raised beds that she's already sown out, and these are the ones that we had to thin out. So.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, thank you. And we are going to talk just a little bit about rabbit poo.
It's really good for your garden. It's not gonna burn it out like chicken manure would, or rabbit manure, or rabbit urine would. But so you can either put it in non-composted into soil, and it'll eventually compost down a bit, and typically won't burn it up. It'll take a lot of it. We've actually planted just directly in rabbit manure before, and tomatoes did fine. You can make it tea. If you have an old grain bag, you can put it in a bucket of water and water your garden with it, and that's a really good way to do it. And that's about it.
Oh, well, thank you.
Can I get another one? Because you're going to help me.
Do you need me to carry some of your buckets for you?
No, I'm just going to get this one and that.
Okay,
Thank
alrighty.
you very much, though.
So these are the seeds that I picked up when I went to the seed swap. And like I pointed out in the video, a lady had posted this. People were just showing what they were bringing. And I have plenty of the black-eyed Susans, but I don't have the vine. So I really wanted this. And then when I got there, there were just so many wonderful things. And the first thing that I want to point out, this was our first seed swap, and so we were trying to decide what is the best and the easiest way to do a seed swap. And I had actually taken my seeds like this. Now I did provide little plastic bags and markers, and I said just take what you want, you know. I thought that was a good idea. But then this is my favorite right here. The way that she did this, and this is an envelope that she made and taped, and it's purple whole peas, spring plant March the 15th, succession sow, last plant July the 19th, protect from heat. But she had so much information on her packets, and I was really glad to see that. This lady I thought was kind of cool. This is just a paper bag, and so this is a cushal, and I had not seen or heard that in a long time. I remember my grandmother growing these, but this is how she packaged hers up. This lady has on the bottom of who they came from. So this is Baker Creek. This is a Morning Glory Moonflower, and you know I love those. This is something that I had not heard of, the Urban Farmer. And this is a candy stripe cosmos. And if you remember last year, my cosmos were one of the last flowers that were still blooming. And I just love a cosmo. It's so easy to grow. It's so dependable, and you get such beautiful flowers for so long. So, like I said, I found a dwarf evening primrose and just some different things, but if you have an opportunity, maybe in your area, there are online seed swap groups. I actually sent some seeds out this week to a friend that I met through the seed swap that wanted some seeds that I had, and she was sending me some. So get on there and join those groups and see what people have. It's usually a swap, a trade, so I'll send you something, you send me something, but it's all fun, and you never know what someone is going to have that maybe you haven't heard of. This was one of the things that I was really excited about. This is called Jolly Jester. It's a marigold. It's red and yellow. I had never seen this, so I'm really excited to try those this year, and hopefully I'll have plenty of seeds for going forward. But I just hope you all have enjoyed this, and I hope that it encourages you to join seed swap groups, or maybe start one, or you know, just even if you go to the store and buy your seeds. But these were all free, so you know how frugal I am and how much I love free. So thanks for watching, and y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.